we'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Gangster Chronicles podcast. It's your boy Big Steel.
Gia in the building.
Yeah, and today, live from the Salinas Valley Correctional Institute, we have a special guest, Big Lurch in the house. What's happening, Lurch?
What it do, OG? What's up, 8 man? On Bloods, much respect.
Good looking, fam. You know how it is. You know what it do.
You know, by now,
Already.
everyone knows the events that led to your incarceration, but it's a number of other things we have to talk about. First of all, what kind of treatment are you receiving right now?
Well, currently, I'm at Salinas Valley State Prison, California, which is actually New Soledad. So the BGF and everything started at Soledad. George Jackson, Soledad brother. Rest in peace, OG. Thank you for the vision. I'm currently in mental health, so I had to learn about, being bipolar, because brothers, they self-medicate with street drugs, and our community has been flooded with street drugs like PCP and methamphetamine that induce mental illness and put spirits in us that nature take its course, and the nature of its drugs is murder and sex. And, meanwhile, the slave master sits back and says, they monsters. You know what I mean?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So now that I've enlightened myself about mental health and these drugs, now I'm ready to rap. Now I'm ready to rap about it.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is that, when you first started indulging in PCP, you were doing that to self-medicate some pain you were going through from an accident. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Well, PCP is a dissociative anesthesia, actually. It's an anesthesia, but it also causes psychosis, but we don't know that in the ghetto. We're going to make an excuse. Oh, whoever flipped out on it was weak-minded, or he was already like that, because we be freestyling and just inventing shit, us
Right.
blacks. Whereas the whites know the science, they invented the drugs. So I broke my neck in a car accident, you know what I'm saying, at my grandmother's funeral. And, I was in pain. They let me out of the hospital. I woke up. I didn't choose to do heroin, a.k.a. morphine. You wake up and you got the needles in you when you push the button. So I had developed an addiction. I was in a coma for months with the morphine. And then when they let me out of the hospital, my insurance wasn't covering all that. So, they just cold turkey the pain pill, the pain anesthesias. And just now I'm having a withdrawal and pain. And one of my, homies is like, man, I'm in the wheelchair. I can't walk. Like, man, get up. That ain't Lurch. You're depressed. You want to kill yourself. What? Nigga, hit this. So began hell.
And that was the genesis of that. It's a number of things, man, with that case that just kind of had me wondering, because I really familiarized myself with it. And one of the things I was thinking, man, it's like it didn't make no sense. They said you told everybody to leave except for the girl, but her boyfriend was there too. Usually, if somebody was a couple, I bounce, my woman coming with me. It just didn't make no sense.
Already.
So can we elaborate just a little bit on that?
Well, in the reality of the issue, by the time that is, I wasn't smoking sure. I had just got out of jail in Dallas County, like 2 months prior to that. So my whole system was clean. So I'm bicking it with the homies on the fig. They smoke some lovelies with me. Now, once you high and you under the influence, somebody pass it to you, you're going to keep hitting it. So in actuality, I end up getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? I'm the off-brand from Texas or whatever they wanted to make it as appear. But in reality, I'm baby Paddlefoots. But at the time, this cat ain't knowing who my family is in L.A. So, they robbed me. I don't even remember the day. All I remember is we went to the Hoodie Awards and shit, which was a few days before. So they kept me under and then was robbing me, you know what I'm saying, cleaning me out, took my car, my wallet, went to the mall, and they also said, it's in my trial transcripts, the dude, Thomas Moore, Baby Peabody, or whatever they want to call him, that I told them to go to the mall to buy us all some Jordans. I ain't never let you use my car, and I damn sure ain't gave you all my money and told you to go to get the mall and get no Jordans. But that's his story. And since I'm the biggest name, rapper or aspiring rapper, as the whites, or my bad, the powers that be like to label us. Just like I'm a rapper or a mayhem rapper, but I'm not a rapper. I'm a writer. I write film, books, movies. Rap is Laffy Taffy. I'm just a writer. But you know what I'm saying? All these labels that box us in, that enables people to think whatever they want to make them think. That's what the label do. So, I pretty much was robbed. He had her under the influence too, so I learned after the trial transcripts, they found enough drugs in her to, so he was actually experienced prison baby. So now that I'm in prison, I understand because the big brother master, they in here drugging people with psych meds and everything. So a lot of the cats in California prison is learning how to control people with drugs by what happens to them.
And
I know it works. They did it to me.
What these dudes
they did it to me, like, you know what I mean?
Right. Were these dudes that you considered that was supposed to be homies, or just some niggas you was kicking it with, because you know how this shit happens around neighborhood shit, the wet sticks, was always like one of the drugs of choice in the neighborhood for some, and so I'm just saying, what did they introduce you to it, and they just kept you hooked on it? Like, here, just let's keep getting high. What was the outcome?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Well, I'm from Dallas, Texas, so wet is a big thing down there. But I was an athlete. But all my homies in the hood used to use it. By the way, I'm from a blood hood, East Dallas. But I didn't gangbang. I was an athlete. I wrote. It's a difference.
Right.
Like I said, labels. There's a pimp. There's a hustler. They're going to get a hustler from a blood or crib hood life, but he not the gangbanging hunter getting in the car shooting up people.
Right.
We all from the hood.
Exactly.
But that don't mean you gangbang. So anyway, I didn't smoke CERN. The first time I started trying it is when I broke my neck. I got out of jail. I got to L.A. Now, I always been in and out of L.A. in the Bay Area. My father's from the Bay. North Richmond, we lived in Vallejo. So, I got family in L.A., so I go to L.A. to work on my album, and I'm a blood, so I hung with the Bloods because I didn't feel safe. I'm rapping, and I had broke my neck. I'm still not that strong. So I used the homies from Lanes because that's who I fuck with.
Right.
My big homie, Ray Dog, Raymond Dupree, to be my Usalama. You know what I'm saying? And he had keys in the hood. While I'm going to Hollywood and doing shows, clubs and, networking, to get people on my albums, I got my homie, he professional, he been to prison, Usalama in me. So while he Usalama in me, we go through the hood and he smokes CERN, So we go through the hood and I'm in the house, he doing his thing, I stay at the house on the 6th and I come outside, I'm like, where Radar? And he just smoked. Right in front of me. Somebody standing over him, just lighting his ass up. He introduced me to CKT, a.k.a. Baby Peabody, Thomas Moore. So now I'm hanging on to Radar through T. You understand what I'm saying? So, but Radar ain't T. And then Radar was my Usalama, and he had a pure heart. He was a good brother. You know what I'm saying? So when Raymond Dupree got killed, Radar, I'm holding on to him through T, and now I'm taking T through Hollywood and the studios. I'm working on It's All Bad, the album, which wasn't the name. The label gave it that name.
Right.
I was going to name the album The Puppet Master, but they exploited my conviction for the sales and used my conviction to sell the album. Now that I'm with T and I'm taking them around Hoodie Awards and everything, well, the hood on the fig is a hoe stroll. So basically, I guess he trying to pimp baby girl. Now, all the homegirls and everything coming around, I roll hard. I'm a clean-ass, fly-ass nigga. I ain't no tennis suit pimp. Gators on my feet, eating gators meat, you know what I'm saying? Gators on my feet, eating up the concrete, you know what I'm saying? Italian suits. I'm doing my damn thing, so the homegirls start choosing. Well, niggas is out the pen. They trying to be pimps, but they really prison babies. They ain't built like that, this particular nigga. So he getting jealous because his girl literally telling him, I want to fuck with your homeboy. Oh, he ain't a day one anyway. He from Texas. He got the little ego. So they like, man, I don't want to fuck with Larry. He take care of his. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you can't even pay the rent. So pretty much jealousy happened. But in my mind, I'm rapping. I'm thinking, like Tupac said in the interview I viewed, he said he thought that the homies and the blacks would be proud of him, you know. So I got this delusion in my head that nothing's going to happen to me because everybody's proud of me. I'm from the ghetto and I'm making it. But jealousy and envy, see, made Cain kill Abel. So this girl, you know, Lord bless her soul, but, you know, she literally told him that she wanted to fuck with me. And then the jealousy happened. But in my mind, man, I'm the homie and I'm putting the homies on. Come on. They should be, you know, they proud of me. So I keep hanging. If I could go back now, I would have separated myself from that equation. But I'm like, man, I'm coming through, taking cats to the studio, showing them that we can make it as black people, you know what I'm saying? And that it's a fact, you know, that we're doing this. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, all the homie want to do, though, when we go to the club and shit, he started smoking sherm. So eventually, I'm hanging with this. I start hitting it, too. You know, I made a choice. I started hitting it, too.
And we all make choices
and
sometimes.
Then he seen I couldn't handle it. He seen I couldn't handle it. And then the ride began.
Yeah, it just looked fishy to me from the beginning. You know, I'm reading it, and I'm thinking like, okay, why didn't old girl leave with her old man? Because if you come over my house, you and your woman, and I tell everybody to clear out, you go leave and your woman go with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Then he left one of his partners, Doc Christopher, at the house, allegedly, he in a wheelchair, and told him to watch us. But I'm stuck. When he left, I was stuck.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And he took my car.
Yeah, man.
And his story is that I told him to go to to Awesome Jordans. So really, he the con artist is hitting a lick on me. And then he told the homies, the homie to watch me, but he in a wheelchair. And then the homie, Doc, said he left. One story, he says she told him that she was finna, you know, get some, and so he left. She went in the kitchen and got some edibles and all this. I don't know. I don't know their house. I don't remember. And then the other story, he said, I told him to leave. You know, I got the trial transcripts.
Right.
Okay,
you know, then he said the DA made him say it. Drew Josphan from Compton made him change his story.
Wow.
So, you know, now the more stories you tell, people get confused. They just give up and throw their hands up. Okay, whatever. We ain't trying to think that hard.
Because there's so much shit that some went around and shit. So now it's like, what?
Wow.
Exactly. What's to believe and what's not? You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. He just cut out and he called back in. But one of the things that had me really looking, because first of all, I want to say rest in peace to the young lady that lost her life.
Exactly.
During this whole ordeal, rest in peace and prayers to her and her, to her family and going through this. But it was a lot of stuff that was just real suspect to me, about this, because I said it didn't make sense. I said, people usually leave together when they come together, especially a couple. And, come to find out now, allegedly, there was some pimping and some possible prostitution going on. So now the picture is a little more clear. It ain't as hazy.
Yeah, when you get, one side of the story, or you really don't have any, in-depth to what happened.
All right, here we go right here. Hold on one second.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Antron Singleton,
an inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
All right, we back on, Lurch.
Yeah.
We back on. But like I was saying, before we got cut out, when studying this, because I read it before like everybody else, and I'm always real subjective about stuff because you don't know what's going on. If you wasn't somewhere to see it yourself or witness it, you don't know what the hell going on.
Exactly. Everybody has different stories about shit when they go down. You know what I'm saying? So until you get all the facts, or until you talk to the person, directly who was involved, because rumors is rumors. And then, when they come from the streets and, dealing with shit like that, everybody always has their version. And then like he said, you never know what is being influenced by the prosecutor, the DA, or whatever, because like he said, mental health is real. We don't look at that upon niggas in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
And the DA has a separate agenda in
Exactly.
the courts.
Exactly.
He's a rapper. He's funding their hood, or they're gonna make it the worst of the worst.
Well,
the way they view our people.
That's how they've always viewed us because where we come from. We come from the neighborhood. And even though we're trying to better ourselves and live different lives and whatever, we're still looked upon as niggas from the block. You know what I'm saying?
But did the crime rate go down when they locked me up? If I'm the one funding all the guns and all this, did the crime rate go down when I got out?
Oh, hell no. That's just because
they say I was the good one that was.
That's because they always want to make the motherfucker they want to make that motherfucker the poster. You know what I'm saying? We got to make the example. But hell no. That's just like anything. They lock up motherfucking they killed Escobar. They lock up El Chapo. They do all that. Do dope stop? Do we still get dope coming into the cities and this nigga still serving? Yeah, so that's what they want to look upon because when they got you there, you the poster child now. Oh, man, you see what rap has done?
And to drive that point home, when they killed Saddam Hussein, they made it like he was the monster, but he was the only one that the Middle East respected. They killed him. Now they can't control nothing over there because he was the only one they was listening to. So what they made appear to be the monster, now we know actually he was the glue that was like actually the saint that they was, afraid to do what they doing now when he was here.
It's always when you look at shit over
time. Now they have no control.
When you look at shit over time, you know what I'm saying? You look at shit over time and everything that they say, they did this for the better or, we make an example of what actually does get better. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, we can't sit up and say, you the main one. Lurch is the motherfucker who have all the bad influences and all this other shit, whatever. I mean, we all came from the neighborhood and we all had we all had terrible influences growing up as children coming from the block, especially if we were influenced by the streets.
And it creates a vacuum, even if the person is the man, because all the ambitious younger ones are now vying to be the man. So you just created like 10 different cartels when you took out that one.
Yeah,
you
because
who didn't
want to be the man?
Different people competing to be the one.
We had no fucking, like I said, they gave us the storybook about the role models and shit, but our role models was the niggas who had it. You get me? Those were our role models in the neighborhood, like you said. And from the time a motherfucker could dream or have ambitions, that was the ambition, was to be the nigga. You feel me?
The one that overcame. So
exactly.
If he had that Cadillac, if he's the one that overcame what we seen everybody dying doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real.
And then my mama, I got to put some food in the refrigerator. My mama just had back surgery. So the only person that could teach me, I'm 12, 13, I ain't even old enough to get a job. So how am I finna feed myself and my mama? Okay, that dude right there, he overcoming. He ain't getting killed. I like this car I got. So you can't tell me what to look up to because your role models, that scenario don't even apply to my environment that you created, though.
Yeah, for real.
You created the ghetto.
Lurch, let me ask you something, man. You came out here from Texas, and I know they do have a lot of banging in Dallas in specific and Houston. So, and it ain't no joke out there. Them cats serious about what it is that they do. So you out here and you making music. All these cats infiltrated your circle, man. Has there ever been any body trying to reopen the investigation?
Nah, ain't nobody got at me at all. But, it wasn't like they didn't have to infiltrate because, like I said, like Tupac came out here from New York. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and we always looked up to California. As far as in the hood, all I ever bumped was West Coast. So it's like when I came back out here, I've been back and forth my whole life, too, to the Bay Area, though, Vallejo. Mm-hmm. So it's like when I came out here and got on, what's up, big bro, Mac Mall? You know what I'm saying? it wasn't no infiltration because I wanted to fuck with everybody. I wanted to put everybody on. I wanted the West to be the best, you know, and then we was into it with the East Coast and all that. I wanted the West to win. Hey, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no infiltration, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no loyalty either.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted to ask you something, man, because like you said, you don't have no memory of the events that happened. So you wake up the next day. How are you feeling? Are you in shock or panic? Like, what's going on in your mind?
So it took me about a week to come to consciousness because they had me so drugged. And when I came to consciousness, I was all swole up and beat up with guards in front of the door in the rubber room talking about cannibal motherfucker, and I didn't even know what they was talking about. And I look in the mirror and I'm all swole. So when I came to, I was broken up. I didn't know what happened. And I had a lawyer visit from my business partner, Milton Grimes. And he was like, you killed Tanisha. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who is Tanisha? I didn't know her real name. Her name, we called her Pocahontas. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know her real name. I'm like, what you talking about? You know? And even he know I didn't know because he had to come pull me out. You know? But, yeah, I didn't even know what had happened. The cops had beat me up. And, you know, they called my name over the loudspeaker, the first memory. And I had been in jail a couple of weeks, and I was in the Twin Towers in a psych ward room, butt naked, and I was swole and everything. And then they like, lawyer visit. I'm like, what the hell? I'm sore. Like, what's going on? You know, my first recollection, consciousness. And the guards was at my door laughing and giggling. Cannibal motherfucker, he stinks. You know, smirkers. And they were all Mexican and white. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, what the hell? You know, and me, I'm a complex. I'm from Texas. Man, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And then, here come the games. Here come the games. Oh, you getting a treat.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, you know, because with a crime like that, you know, that allegedly took place, that happened, they looking at you some kind of way and they feeling some kind of way. Did you have any issues with some of the other inmates when you first came in?
Well, my lawyer literally just, once I came to, he said, you all right in here? When I came to that first visit and I'm swole, I'm just like, hell no, you know, you see me? And he's like, well, I'm going to get you pulled out to the main line. So now I'm thinking he was trying to get me killed. So when they pulled me out to the main line, they put me in April 13, 36-3800 state module. We all got red bands, capital murders. And the East Coasters had just robbed the Mexican mafia for 100 to 300 birds. So they had a green light on all blacks. They put me in April 13 with the Mexican shot callers. LAPD tried to feed me to them.
Oh, man.
So actually, in the Bloods didn't do nothing or nothing because the politic out on me. Some East Coasters, my nigga Tiny Sheik, Tiny Steiner, 6-packs, walked up to my door and had a knife in the sock like, you all right, cuz? I'm like, yeah. They like, nah, you all right, nigga. We into it with these Mexicans. I ain't never been in prison or nothing in Cali. I'm from Texas. And in Texas, we TS. We roll with the Mexicans. And I didn't know nothing about all this shit was going on. They literally fed me to them, put me in a cell with all Mexicans with the Mexican shot caller. So he was finna get famous for killing the cannibal rapper. Nigger, or whatever. I don't know how they look at it. You know, I ain't trying to be smirkish, but I don't have no feelings for none of that now because I've been going through all this pain.
Right.
So don't judge it like that. I hope not. But I'm the one that been going through the pain.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, and he gave me the burner, like, watch out. So the Mexican shot caller, though, on God. I'm in the cell, you know, and I take a leak, and he said, you got some piss on the toilet. And he looking for a reason. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, because I'm from Texas. I was very respectful. And he just shaking his head. No. Something ain't right. So about 2-3 days in, the homie from East Coast like, cuz, we finna move you down here with us. We got to get you out of there, nigga. It's war, and we was on lockdown. But I'm locked in the cell with all the Mexicans. April 13, police can't even hear my screams. Fed me to them. Mexican mafia. So he like seeking them like, cuz, we gonna move you down here with us. I'm like, blood, this lane's up. I'm like, tripping. I'm gonna stay with the Mexicans because all y'all are Crips. Nigga, this buzz. You know, I'm from Texas, though.
Exactly.
Naive as hell. So You know, the Mexican shot caller, though, every time he looking for a reason, you know. And I'll be like, yes, sir, no, sir. And then finally, they call him for the chain. He finna go to we all got capital murder, so his life wouldn't have changed if they would have killed him. He already was finna got life.
Exactly.
That's
so
real
finally,
shit.
he like, say, Holmes, don't you ever change, Lurch. And I'm like, what you talking about, blood? What you talking about, OG? He say, man, something ain't right. This don't add up. You're not, they made it like you was a monster, man, and you the most respectful, you know, young man. Like, where you from? I'm like, this Lanes. He's like, nah, where you from? I'm from Texas. He said, don't you never change, Holmes. We was gonna kill you.
So you
But
got
nah, it ain't adding up.
so you got a pass just from being respectful.
He's like, it ain't adding up. I know a monster. And you're not the monster that they saying you are. I'm from the set, Holmes. I know a monster.
So let me ask you this, Lurch. We were speaking earlier, man, and you were talking about you wanted to shed light on some situations, man, that were going on with a lot of the young women in the community that have been trafficked out and you know, sent different places to do things against their will. A lot of, you know, human trafficking stuff going on.
Already. So there's this drug called.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
There's this drug called GHB. YouTube GHB. Goat Hoover blood. GHB. Okay, now this drug, they slip it in the drinks in the clubs, you know, Satanists, witches, and the girls, and they don't remember nothing up to an hour before they used it. You know what I'm saying? And they gang rape them repeatedly when they're under it. It makes the girls horny, but they don't remember. They repeatedly gang rape them and keep them under the influence of it. They don't remember nothing until they're a full-fledged hoe. And when they first give it to them, they can't move and defend themselves or nothing. And it's an astral plane drug, a hypnotism drug. So whites know what they're doing. It's a European thing, everything. Just YouTube GHB, you'll see what I'm saying. And so, but this is the sex trafficking blueprint. They pass it to the Hispanics, and the whites and Hispanics know blacks don't. So you wonder how these pretty ass porn stars, they getting them to get this pretty ass girl. Well, this is the blueprint. So they get them under it, and they keep them under it, keep giving them a drink of it. They don't remember nothing. Like how they did me on CERN, they keep giving it to you. And they gang rape them, have all their homies line them up, right? And then by the time they can move, now their body is addicted to it. Their body gets used to it, they can move now. But now when their body can move, they're addicted to it. It's more addictive than heroin. Now they're begging to do anything to get it and have sex. They always run back to them. So blacks, we was max or gorilla pimps. And they wondering why these black girls and all, they running back to these white boys and shit. And that's GHB. So GHB induces lizard brain in users.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Lizard brain reduces users to having only lizard characteristics like sleep, eat, sex, addiction, aggression, being territorial or jealous, ritualistic behavior, and social hierarchies, right? Google lizard brain. Now, GHB is highly addictive. You know what I'm saying? You know, Satanist sex traffickers have developed that blueprint right there. You know, a lot of the Mexican brothels and, you know, all these girls coming up missing, that's it. And you'll rescue the girl, and she'll run back to it and disappear again because GHB is so addictive. They get sick. They be throwing up. Their bones ache. Now, after this process, you know what I'm saying, the girls will do anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's called, I call the phenomenon 4Ds. Drink, dope, and dick till death. You know what I'm saying? Because the soul is gone. The reality that has become the hell.
That's some wicked ass stuff, man. You know, he was telling me that it's a sex ring going on right now, and they don't talk about it that much in mainstream media. But have you noticed there's been a lot of black girls getting snatched up in places like Atlanta, out here?
Yeah, it's been going on for a while, man. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, that's nothing new. Do we know for a fact, like, who's behind this shit?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm letting my
I don't know if I want to specifically call out certain races, like it's just the Vatos and the whites, you know. So
well, exactly, and that's our disclaimer right there. The thoughts and opinions of this show are his and his only.
exactly.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Antron Singleton.
an inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey, Lurch, one thing I want to do before we kick it back off is I want to give a disclaimer to our audience out there. You know, Lurch has an opinion, and these are things that he suspects are happening, but we not disrespecting nobody's race or culture. You know, we not disrespecting nobody's race or culture. We being as subjective as we possibly can. But you can continue on, my brother.
Simply. Okay, so this sex trafficking blueprint, you know, that's being used is a phenomenon that I call the 4 Ds: drink, dope, and dick till death. A reality that has become the hell of GHB addicts whom sex and drug themselves to death. Once tricked into this lifestyle, the soul is taken. Okay? Now, other names for GHB include Georgia Homeboy, Good Horny Booty, Easy Lay, Revis Bodily Horn, Liquid X, Mexican Volume, Wolfpack Attack, Porn Star, Fuck Us All, and Insatiable. GHB analogs substituted for GHB include GBL, gamma, beta-glutathione, or whatever, 1/4 BD, which is 1/4 bentonol, or whatever, available legally as solvents, sold as fish tank cleaner, ink stain remover, and nail enamel remover for $100 a bottle online. GHB is also used as pesticides, elastic fibers, coating metal and plastics, aka jewelry coating, and pharmaceuticals. Now, jewelry store owners have been known to be some of the biggest manufacturers of GHB. In Dallas, there is a jewelry store owner, you know, that owns a lot of strip clubs all over the country and sex traffics girls, you know what I'm saying, named Joseph Joe Peak. And the reason why I'm saying this name, because my cousin worked for him in a strip club, and he has a Christian sex cult. So all the girls talk about Jesus and people forget about it, but they indoctrinate him in it. And a preacher shot my cousin in the face and killed her. And then he killed himself. And now, Joe Peak is pimping her daughter. They watched her mama get killed. And she's on GHB. Some of the biggest GHB manufacturers, you know, are jewelry store owners. Side effects of GHB include confusion, euphoria, drowsiness, decreased anxiety, memory impairment, amnesia, which is where victims lose memory of everything that happened to up to an hour before they were raped. So if they give it to them, they don't remember who gave them the drink or nothing. Like, it impairs the memory like an hour before they even took the drink. It's also a powder form that they put it in cocaine. So a lot of girls feel shame and guilt if they snorted the powder, and then they tape them. And when they're incapacitated, they don't remember what they did, so they might be fucking everybody, sucking dick and everything, and they're recording it. And then they don't remember. So if she a Christian or Muslim or something, and they show her that tape, she gonna feel shame and guilt, which increases the Ouroboros cycle, which is like when you shame and guilt, you self-medicate, right? And then they extort them. I show this to your family or your church or your big, you know, and they lock them in. Extortion is the rule in Satan.
So you got proof that all this is really happening?
Yes, sir. I got all notes. I got books. I got everything. You know, one of my other close friends, Lakeisha Hill, is getting sex trafficked by them right now. We were engaged by Joseph Peak. They got a Christian sex code in California. One of his business partners is Grace Community Church, Sun Valley, California, John F. MacArthur, a pastor in an international syndicated TV show. And they got girls. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is you gang raping 12, 13-year-old girls, dog. It ain't no motherfucking honoring that. It ain't no snitching on a rapist. You get your ass up in jail and you rape my little cousin or something, yeah, you get in the business.
Man, these some hell.
It ain't no snitching on no sexual predator gang rapist. I don't know where blacks is getting this snitching shit because the whites are the world police. I'm not trying to be funny. They are. They're the cops and everything. And you watch the old 70s black exploitation movies. They gave the blacks the dope to sell and introduce to our race. The CIA gave it to us, the kingpins of that day. Then they double-crossed them and locked them up. Wait a minute, they sell for you. Is that snitching? Then, once all our people got on crack and all that, they replayed their Christian savior that they killed, Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech. So now you got crackheads talking about turning the other cheek. No, they steady attacking us. Yeah. It ain't no dream. The dream died when Martin Luther King died because they flooded us with heroin and crack. Now you got drug addicts listening to this.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
These some hell of
the attacking is steady happening.
These some hell of allegations. These some hella allegations.
Hey, that's my opinion. It's America's freedom of speech, and anybody can look it up. And I don't know if we can't have freedom of speech, then America's a lie.
Oh, for sure. And that's why we have this show, because you're right. Freedom of speech is real valuable to us, and we believe in practicing and exercising our rights.
Look it up. Because they said they discovered America, but my grandma half Native American. So if they discovered America and the Native Americans was here, then I don't even exist. But I listened to their freedom of speech, and now I know it was a lie because I wouldn't even exist.
So these people that you are, these people, do you know them personally? Have you had any involvement with them?
Well, Joseph Peak, Joe Peak, my cousin, I went up to one of his strip clubs when she was on it because all of her friends, they were smoking, crack. All the strippers snort powder. And I used to supply them because I'm trying to be nosy. Like, why my cousin doing all this shit? You know what I'm saying? And I went up there. I actually met him one time, and she tried to hide him. He a Satanist. He real quiet. He recorded everything that go on in his strip clubs. So he got all the police and judges and everything on tape. They extort him. Now he pay him. He's a smooth Satanist. But, they be snitching on us through them if one of the girls fall in love with her and getting all us locked up. Then he uses Dallas's Trey 5-7 Crips like SDJ, like the leaders of that to be his muscle. So they busting on blacks and stuff for the money and a chance to gang rape the girls into the shit, right? Selling out their own race. You know what I'm saying? And all the brothers, the daughters and everything that's falling for this, what about all these brothers that don't know what's happening to their daughters that's running away? Okay, y'all deal with that then. It's my opinion, but everybody learning what happened to their daughters, and we'll see if it's an opinion.
Yeah,
because these girls is getting gang raped.
I've heard you mention a couple of times already that these people are Satanists. So they practice in the dark arts. So when you say they're Satanists, what do you mean? They actually practicing the occult?
Satanist is about manipulation of energy and consciousness. And this is an astral plane drug. YouTube astral plane. ASTRAL. So the astral plane, the whites know about it. Like Einstein was on LSD when he split the atom. So they go into the spirit world, Prometheus theory, where Prometheus, where the people stole game from the gods and brought it to the masses. That's the astral plane theory, world. So, Steve Jobs was on LSD when he invented the Macintosh computer. You know what I'm saying? So they go over there in the spirit world, but they're conscious. It's art. If you look up astral plane, you'll see what I'm saying. It describes to you how to do it. And blacks don't know, though. So when we're doing drugs, we don't know how to use the spirits. Drugs are spirits, witches brews. So we just, what whites call the Satanists, letting nature take its course. So since I didn't know spirits, when I did PCP and it induces violence, bam. I don't know if I did it or not, but it induces violence, though. Or if a girl do ecstasy or GHB, it induces sex. She won't even remember it, but the drug, the spirit, makes them fuck everybody. And they don't know. So our race is the victims. The heroin, the coke, that's all witchcraft. And they flooded our hood with it, but we don't know. See, blacks, whites, their original history is witches, Wiccan. If I'm lying, YouTube Wiccan, Wiccan. That's the original European religion. And that's all the herbs and spices and spiritual, which is considered, Satanism. Mm-hmm. So Satanism derives from manipulating energies and consciousness. So when the girl on GHB, she loses consciousness if she don't know. If they indoctrinate her into Satanism or witchcraft, Nancy knows how to manipulate the spirits. When they indoctrinated, now they go recruit other girls, though. First, they innocent, and then they take their innocence once they're doing it intentionally because they get sick and all that if they don't have a drug. Now, one of his business partners, like Joseph Peak, is a cat named Keith Key Black. He run all of his clubs in Dallas. He the #1 club promoter. So he making all the rappers that come through there partners in rape with him. Because the girls just jump on every rapper and everybody he tell them to. So they all come to Dallas to do shows. But they all on GHB, and they done gang rape the bitches, you know, at the club 1919, Club Blue, Tiger Cabaret, the old VI, or whatever, you know. And meanwhile, the Trey 57s and all that, the muscle there, you know.
Yeah,
so
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
I'm already who I, you know, I'm easy to hate.
Yeah, let me ask you a question,
say what you want to say. All they got to do is say, I'm a cannibal rapper, and they good Christians, but the Satanists hide under religion. So they off the radar, but I'm the cannibal rapper, and everybody attacking me. So, you know.
So do you feel at the time you were, you know, doing Sherm, whatever, feeling, you know, because of the accident, do you feel that was the only alternative to help you? Do you feel you was forced on Sherm? Like you said, they kept feeding it to me. Did you ever have a choice to go, no, I don't want that shit?
Once, and that's just like the girls on the GHB. Once I was under the influence, then you're craving it. You know, an addict is going to always want it. But the initial using it, yeah, it's just like the GHB. They slipped it in your drink. They put it in the weed. It's called a lovely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now,
around in the hood, they dip it on the cigarette in the hood. They dip it in the cigarette, you know. So yeah,
I made a choice consciously the first time I hit it later on, you know, but I was in pain and I didn't know nothing about anesthesia. I never tried heroin. You know, I don't smoke crack. I never tried that. That was looked down on in the hood. Right. But the niggas that smoked Sherm had Lolos and shit. So we didn't consider that. They was the hardest niggas in the hood. Once I come to jail, oh, you a Sherm head. Am I? Well, go to the hood and tell the homie Wooty Boo he a Sherm head and get your bangs blowed out. Now everybody under the police attacking everybody talking about you a Sherm head. Yeah, go to the hood. The #1 router in the hood is Sherm head. Hey. Now I'm getting attacked because of labels and everybody indoctrinated in these slave religions, taught how to think. Hold on, nigga, you in here on methamphetamine telling me I was a Sherm head. I don't even do drugs. Attacking me for the police.
Hey, Lurch, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question because you were a rapper, right? And you was well known. You had, you know, Cosmic Slot Shot made banging ass music. You had banging ass music.
I ain't dead yet, nigga.
Oh no, you are. You
don't kill me, OG.
Oh, for sure. You a dope ass rapper, right? But you participated in the genre which is now called horrorcore. I don't really like labels on rappers. I just think rap is rap. Like I fuck with Gangsta Nip, Brother Lynch, you know, I fuck with your shit.
Already.
Do you think at any point, because I see you mentioning Satanism, man, do you think some of that stuff may be rooted a little bit in Satanism?
Well, in actuality, you know, horrorcore rap, you know, it's just a horror movie rap. You know, I can paint a picture of a horror movie. If that's the case, it shouldn't be no Freddy Krueger or nothing else. I'm a writer, first of all. They put the label on me as a rapper. And they put the label as a horrorcore rapper. I'm not a horrorcore rapper. I write about everything. And I want to be the world's greatest rapper, so I got to show my talents that I can write about everything, from an LL Cool J type love song to a pimp song to gangster tales and stories like Slick Rick, you know, children's story, to horrorcore. Because if you're the best, you got to be able to talk about everything. That's why Biggie can't fuck with Pac, because Pac got more range. You know what I'm saying? He's Dear Mama. He's wonder why they call you a bitch. You know what I'm saying? He's fucked the world. And Biggie, all he talked about is being the devil's son-in-law and a big player and a killer. Well, man, you kind of restricted to like 3 topics, but Tupac can rap about anything. He the greatest. And that's what I pandered myself out of. Now, I called a murder, and they wanted to put a label on me and control the way that people think, because that's what a label does. So once you have a label comes with side effects and tendencies that everybody know. They told that if I give you this label, this is what this is. If she's a hoe, then she's on the hoe stroll selling ass. You know,
you have 60 seconds remaining.
People expect it to have these tendencies. But I'm not a horrorcore rapper. I'm a writer. And I'm not even a rapper. I write film, books, movies, about anything. So rap is my gateway into Hollywood to write my films and, film director. Get my money up, get my chops.
Yeah, and the reason I
Now
asked
they
you that, bro.
labeling me
Yeah, and the
for
reason I
boxing.
asked you that, bro,
This
because
call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
because I'm pretty sure they took your lyrics when this case went down when you got arrested. I'm pretty sure they took your lyrics and said, "Look at what he talks about. He's talking about doing this
definitely.
and doing that." You know, and they use that against you. And I think that's
already.
what
Yeah, they
rap,
did.
You know, rap
They
lyrics,
did.
the stuff we
Yeah,
talk
because
about.
use my rap
you see
lyrics
it's happening
against me.
now. Shit. Look at the niggas on trial right now going through all the shit because now they're gonna go back and they're gonna take your music and then they're gonna dissect it and they go, oh yeah, remember when you said this in your rap and you said you did this and you said you did that. They gonna go break that down and use that against you because they doing it nowadays. So I could just imagine, coming from where Lurch was spitting about and the shit he was rapping about. I'm pretty sure the DA and the prosecutors went and listened to a couple of songs and listened about the horror shit and probably tried to attach that to the case. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Here we go again, right here. This will be the last one. Check in with him.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Antron Singleton.
an inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
All right, Lurch. Yeah, and what I was saying is, they put these labels on us, right? And you see it like 8 mentioned. The young brothers in Atlanta that's going on trial right now. They dragging everything that you've ever said on the record. And when you a rapper, you're descriptive. You're supposed to be descriptive. You talking about, if you went and made a rap about I took my son to football practice and I went to the bank to pay my mortgage, you ain't gonna say on the records. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. They want to hear how vicious
That
you are.
part.
They want to hear you putting extras
They
on.
want to hear tales from the hood. They want to hear.
So
It all depends
if
on
people buy it.
Exactly. They want to hear
bad.
tales from the hood. And if you that type of rapper who rapping about money or like you said, being the player or, having all the bitches or whatever, they want to hear indescriptive shit. They don't want to hear about no
Because
regular
negative
shit.
outweighs the positive.
Exactly.
But if you rapping on positive, nobody buy it. Oh, welcome to McDonald's, man. Please help you. The record label gonna drop you. So it's like you forced into it actually because you're gonna lose your job if you don't make no sales. And negative outweighs positive. So if I talk about killing, everybody bought it. But if I do a whole song about Islam or whatever, nobody bought it. That was proven with X-Clan and NWA. Back in those days, I was alive. I was rapping back then. I was young, but I used to bump X-Clan, Abracadabra, Baby Professor, and everybody had red and black, blue, green medallions.
Everybody
right?
had
But
the
I didn't
African
have that.
medallions.
I had a Raiders hat and a T-shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the negative or what is considered ghetto commentary caught on, and the black consciousness didn't.
I mean, same
The
shit
whole world
in that
NWA.
era.
They didn't buy X-Clan.
I mean, same shit
They
in that
didn't
era.
buy poor righteous teachers.
I
They
did.
bought
And
NWA.
I was a nigga from the hood. And I, like you said, I listen to
This
X-Clan.
call
I
and your
listen to
telephone
Poor
number will
Righteous
be monitored
Teachers.
and
I listen
recorded.
to the Jungle Brothers and shit like that. But then,
Simply.
like you said, I also listen to Cube, Easy. I listen to Too Short. I listen to Ice-T, Schoolie D. I mean... I guess that just came from being a true artist, you know what I'm saying, of just wanting to be an artist and not wanting to be labeled as a gangster rapper. I just wanted to be a motherfucking artist. But yeah, like you said, those got outweighed.
I needed a job.
Those records
and the
got
record label they're gonna drop me just like they dropped X-Clan.
right, exactly. I mean, because there's so many people who, I bumped Funkin' Lesson. That shit was cracking. But how many niggas in the neighborhood who selling dope every day, who getting shot at and on the block, how many of them gonna be riding around 4 deep in the cluck car bumping Funkin' Lesson? You feel me? So like
But on
you
the
said,
real though, Hey, OG, you know for a fact, though, really, the niggas is bootlegging it and buying it at the swap meet when we had tapes and CDs, and the white kids is the number one consumers. That's why Eminem the number one selling artist. But come on, they talking about he can flow. You can't fuck with Twister and Flowing. You can't fuck with 40. You can't even fuck with my big bro C-Bo. I'm not being funny, but nigga, I'm a real MC. Come on, my nigga. Your people is the number one consumer, and y'all support your own.
Oh,
Now that they got white rappers, they outsell us. Whereas most niggas is bootlegging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't like,
you know
niggas don't like to pay for. We don't like to pay for no shit.
She got the job.
Definitely, if we can get the shit for free, or if a nigga can burn it off or some other shit, you definitely right. You definitely right.
So,
it
only counts when it's sold.
True
and the
indeed.
white is the number one consumer. The white is the one that feeds the machine.
Yeah, you know, and you
so
were
X-Clan talking about blackness and all that, that ain't getting no sales.
Yeah,
but the white boys is intrigued with NWA and the gangster black. Oh, I'm scared. My dad's gonna lock him up. But anyway.
Now you mentioned, was that Black Market Records that released your project?
And I don't even know Cedric Singleton. I ain't signed no contract. They robbed me. I ain't never got a payment. Can't wait to meet Cedric Singleton.
So they
then
released
they called it motherfucking It's All Bad and promoted me as a Satanist. And I was born and raised a Christian. But now that I got attacked by all the Christians, you know what I'm saying? And they never even came to my defense, the church I grew up in or nothing. They was waiting for me to die.
So what did they do? Did they get your project from somebody sold them your project?
This cat, FMB, rest in peace now, from Oakland, and this cat from Stress Free Records, Eric Easy Money from LA, you know.
Okay.
And I thought that was my bro or whatever, but hey, people sell out for money, you don't think?
So they basically had the masters of your shit. They had the masters of your shit, and when you got locked up, they took the masters to black market and sold them to black market.
Exactly. And he promoted me, and most of the cops, that's what they saying. You rap about eating people. Because Brother Lynch came out on black market. So they be having me confused with Brother Lynch. You rap about eating babies and stuff. Man, I ain't never rapped about eating people. Nigga, I'm a G. Nigga, who the hell you talking to?
Why nigga Brother Lynch was on vicious with it.
Oh, man. So I'm getting my ass whooped for damn Brother Lynch. My name ain't Lurch. My name is Lynch. And white people, they so racist. Lurch, Lynch, whatever.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's the same shit. Y'all both talking about that horror shit and whoopty. So, you know, they ain't gonna differentiate shit. Like you said, Lynch, Lurch, hey, it's all the same. So shit.
And you know, Cedric Singleton and Black Market, they specialized in releasing a certain type of music. And it fit in that range, you know, because those dudes talked about some mania shit. They was rapping their ass off, but they talked about some crazy shit.
And then, to be honest with you, my name is Antron Singleton. So he had everybody, this devil-worshipping ass nigga, had everybody thinking that we related and everything. I'm getting robbed by this nigga. I ain't never met this nigga. He's Cedric Singleton. I'm Antron Singleton. So everybody thinking I'm good. They're selling hella albums. They getting him lawyers and shit. I don't even know this nigga ain't got one penny. You know what I'm saying? We Singleton, both last name, but we ain't related.
So Cedric Singleton is a devil worshipper?
Now, I mean, to be honest with you, he promoted my music as devil worshippers. All of they fans write me. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he a devil worshiper, but that's what he sent into my world, and I didn't know nothing about it. But once all the devil worshippers started writing me and all that, I started researching it. And so now I know about astral plane, and I know about, you know, God do everything for a reason. They just let me know they world.
And they release a certain brand of music because, come to think about it, Black Market, usually a label has a variety of artists, right? Like Rap-A-Lot had Gangsta Nip, but everybody on Rap-A-Lot wasn't rapping about killing people's mama at the honeymoon and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Simply.
You feel what I'm saying? They had Scarface that was talking about the
They basically tried to grab a corner of the market and they try to market their shit.
Okay, but you're trying to kill me though, because I'm in prison with a life sentence.
Exactly, but see that ain't they don't give a fuck.
So you kicking the cops and everything on me,
nigga. Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
And when I die, the music gonna sell more. Nah, nigga, I ain't ready to die. I can't wait to meet that nigga.
See, because they thing was to try to capitalize off of the situation. That's what they was looking at. They looking at like
but
shit.
That's killing me though.
Which is
that's
true.
Killing me though. I'm really a human.
Exactly.
The cops is
but
like,
you know, since when do greedy niggas look out for the next nigga? You feel me? Since when? You get me? Since when a greedy motherfucking nigga really look out for a nigga and his safety and help? Since when are they gonna be like, yeah, my nigga's in prison, you know, he going through some shit, maybe we wanna hold, like, cause some motherfucker be like, man, we ain't gonna release this right now. You get me? A movie motherfucker going through fucked up times.
I'm really emotional over this because I just lost my mother and father.
Right.
Who watched the cannibal rapper shit every time my name mentioned is online. They killed my mama and my daddy, bro. My mama just had a heart attack.
Yeah,
my dad lost his mind behind that shit they doing, dog. Fuck Satanists, my nigga. Because they took my soul, my energy, and flipped my whole aura. And we Christians from Texas, my parents don't know. My parents going to church down there in Christian church, and the whole church looking at them crazy, like your son went to California and became a devil worshiper. They hurt, ashamed. They killed my mom and dad, blood.
Yeah, because, you know, us people from the South, man, real heavy in the church and real spiritual. So it's really kind of, you know, to have that put on moms, knowing how people were brought up in church as little kids. Because, you know, as a kid, I was brought up in church. You feel me? So it kind of
that's a sad situation.
Yeah, it kind of stresses the situation for your parents. Because knowing where...
So I don't mean... I'm not trying... It's very emotional. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know definitely. It's supposed to be, though.
Let's get back to the sex trafficking.
Exactly.
Because that's emotional, too. But GHB is used as an anti-aging agent, fat loss, supplement, improves eyesight, reversal of balding. It's an anti-aging. It's like what they call it, fountain of youth for aging. Bodybuilding supplement. That's why them porn stars always look young. Depression, fights drug addiction treatment, and insomnia. It's a bait rape drug, right? Now, Satanism is based on manipulation of energy and consciousness. Now, Satan don't got horns. It's basically like, you know, silence, secrecy, manipulate, knowledge of evil. See, we was indoctrinated into Christianity, which is just knowledge of good. So if you don't know knowledge of evil, God know good and evil. If you only know good, then you at a disadvantage. If you only know evil, you at a disadvantage. Now, whites know knowledge of good and evil, like the Jews, fire and water, the upside-down pyramid and the upright pyramid, the six-point star. That represents knowledge of good and evil. They're complete. Whereas we, indoctrinated into Christianity and Islam now, only know good. So a person that's slick and know how to manipulate and drug people, we don't know nothing about it. So we're going to fall for it.
Yeah, for sure.
You cannot beat an invisible enemy that you don't know nothing about.
Lurch, I want to ask
you. And if you evil only, if you a devil, you only got knowledge of evil though, and you're doing drugs, well, a G nigga working out and everything, you gonna lose because you only know evil.
Hey, Lurch, let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you a question real quick, right? So, where do you go from here? Because, you know, the charges brought against you, you in prison, you got a life sentence, right? Are you trying to appeal or anything else?
Well, the courts wouldn't even entertain my appeal. They had me on psych meds and frying my brain out, bro, because I'm the cannibal rapper. The doctors will be like, we got you by the balls. The system just dogged me out. So finally, after I came up out of it, now that I'm conscious, like 15 years, they had me over-medicated. Once I came up out of it, you know, a couple of my bloods actually had my back. Like, nigga, y'all ain't finna get it, homies, this shit. Nigga, come outside and work out, and just really brought me back. Read this book. So now, you know, by the time I came out and started writing the courts, like, what's up with my trial? The Ninth Circuit, they like, we ain't even entertaining this. Your appeal over.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I don't even remember it. So I'm telling the courts, I was cohered. I don't even remember the trial or, you know, the appeals process. So how can my shit be over?
So you don't even remember standing trial? You don't remember ever going to trial or nothing of that?
I'm blacking out in and out in the trial. But the appellate process, I don't remember none of that. I ain't get to help no lawyers or nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? They saying they ain't entertaining it. But the thing is this, bud, I'm from Lanes. All I know is survival. I got more pair of shoes in prison than I had in East Dallas and in the projects in Oak Cliff, Texas. Not saying that it's a good thing or bad thing, but I was turning TVs with wire pliers in the ghetto, and I got a flat screen in prison. So, and a tablet that I'm talking to you on. Not saying, but I'm saying I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm going to keep pushing. And if we can't save the people that don't want to say themselves that's already on drugs, then my mission is to let people know what's going on in my race, because silence and secrecy enables the devil to thrive. We don't have knowledge of evil, so we falling for the drugs and the drinks and shit. Knowledge of evil, devil. So if, you know what I'm saying, me enlightening and waking up, spitting in the mud and putting it over my people's eyes, it might not save to remove the shields the people that already bit the apple, but the next generation gonna know, and they won't bite the apple, or they'll be ready to defend themselves. So it's all about our people.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
We the ones that's the suckers that's doing all these drugs invented by European witches and Satanists that have
Lurch.
knowledge of evil.
Lurch, before this thing tap out, because the show is about up right now, where can people get in touch with you at? Hurry up and spit them the information.
Well, you can look me up at Big Lurch YouTube. I also have poetry and social commentary at Big Lurch, Lurchology, YouTube, Lurchology, LURCHOLOGY.
You got a YouTube channel?
Lurchology.
You got a YouTube channel? You running the YouTube channel from the joint?
Already.
That's
Big Lurch YouTube.
Exactly.
Big Lurch YouTube.
Man, you keep your head up, man.
My name
for
is
sure.
Antron Singleton. Antron Singleton. ANTRON Singleton. SINGLETON. Victor 24953. V24953. Go to the gettingout.com app. I'm at Salinas Valley State Prison, and you can hit me on my tablet, email me, send me 30-second videos, whatever.
And there it is right there.
There it is.
That's probably the most interesting and
Yeah,
craziest interview I've ever had. Not saying that he's crazy necessarily.
you're going to say he's crazy, but, you know, you just have to say Lurch has his own views and, you know, opinions about a lot of shit that he feels that's, you know, niggas go to prison and they get, you know, certain, you know, they get certain things that interest them.
They get indoctrinated to certain stuff. This
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to take him one more time. Hold on.
Tell Link, you have a prepaid call from
Antron Singleton.
an inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Okay, now I wanted to ride out of here with a rap, though. I wanted them to hear what I'm on now.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, we got a world premiere on here. Gangsta Chronicles world premiere exclusive.
Already.
Let's get it.
Yeah, Big Lurch up in this motherfucker. No love, West Side. No love, West Side. No love, West Side. By the way, I'm rapping to this game, like father, like son, B. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the color of my skin makes it hard for me to win the scandalous society I'm living in. Lord, the color of my skin, the world considers it a sin. I'm blessed if I'm surrounded by these jealous men. For the color of my skin makes it hard for me to win the scandalous society I'm living in. Lord, the color of my skin, the world considers it a sin. I'm blessed if I'm surrounded by these jealous men. To whom more is given, more is expected of them. A world full of parasites, latching on but neglect to love them. A blessed in abundance, our burdens in life won't let us hide. Numbing that pain with drugs and alcohol equals suicide. And the same goes for you and I, and my brothers that do or die. Hookers that prostitute, selling sex to a suit and tie. The root of all evil won't let you sleep if it don't know you. Admitted into mental institutions due to paranoia. Gotta living in hard times is a sanity destroyer. The element up the streets is my people's number one employer. Even begging's a hustle. Can I borrow $1? And tomorrow I holler, but I never said I'd pay you back. And I never said that I was broke. I'm making paper stack. It's evident I need money more than you. So go on and pay your Mac. Go play the back and sling a sack. Police is hot, fool. Better go out your money before you get jacked by a cricket cop, too. So I'm attracted to sinners that don't complain and born winners. Do whatever they gotta do for red wine and steak dinners. One of my homegirls do white-collar crime daily. Insurance scams and welfare fraud, pimping our own baby. And I can't blame her. Every mastermind needs a team. You gotta be using all of your resources when doing a scheme. Her son got all of the toys and clothes a privileged kid has. And the only thing she teaches her boys for them to get the cash. We're living for the day. Tomorrow ain't promised anyway. Pussy, weed, and alcohol, so I ain't got nowhere to stay. My life is an action movie from the beginning to the end. Ducking bullets that ain't pretend for the color of my skin. For the color of my skin makes it hard for me to win. The scandalous society I'm living in. Lord, the color of my skin, the world considers it a sin. I'm blessed, so I'm surrounded by these jealous men. For the color of my skin makes it hard for me to win. The scandalous society I'm living in. Lord, the color of my skin, the world considers it a sin. I'm blessed, so I'm surrounded by these jealous men. You know what I mean? No love, West Side. No love, West Side. No love, West Side. Now, they use my rap lyrics against me, right? Do Lurch rap like he talk? How they gonna use rap lyrics against somebody? It's obvious that that's a character. Do I talk like that? You know what I mean? So they got jokes.
Yeah, you know,
So they need to lock up Stephen King and all them, because, you know, they can just, whatever they label they put on you, they can control the minds of the masses that they indoctrinated in religion, right? And then say that he's like that because he wrote the movie, Freddy or Jason. Even though he don't talk like that or act like that.
You got flow like a motherfucker, dog. You got flow. That shit was hard.
For sure.
That shit was official as a motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you what's probably gonna happen. So y'all producers out there that be getting on shit and remixing shit, y'all, I'm giving y'all permission right now. Y'all can chop that little verse out, but y'all get my nigga his publishing and shit. You know what I'm saying? And get with him. See if y'all can knock some shit out. See if y'all can bang some shit out. You know, because that shit was hard.
For sure.
That shit was hard.
Thank you, OG.
And Lurch, man, you know, we go get up
I
out
try
of
to
here
be
right
in reality, like, when I say the devil manipulation of energy, God is truth, and the truth lasts forever. And as you get to know me and people get to know the true me, they'll see that I'm the truth. And the truth lasts forever. You know, Tupac is forever. The truth, you say it one time, and it's forever. A lie, it dies. Every time you got to tell another lie to cover the last lie, the manipulation part. So, you know, I'm a G, bro. And thank you, OGs, you know, still. And thank you, 8, man. You inspired me my whole life, bro. You the
Good
truth,
looking,
bro.
fam, man. You keep your head up, man. You know what I'm saying? We take it day by day, man. That's all we can do.
All right, for sure. And there we is, y'all. Gangsta Chronicles. Big Lurch. Antron Singleton. Big Lurch character.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah.